Hello everyone, I welcome you all to my channel Revealing Concepts. In today's video, we would be continuing with the introduction part of the chapter Probability. In today's class, we would be learning about the formula to calculate the probability and a small concept called as event. We will also be solving one small example to understand how the formula for probability works, and then from the next video onwards, we would be starting with the practice set that has been given in your textbook. So let's start. Just to recall the definition of probability, and at the same time, I would request you all to just, if you haven't watched the introduction video part 1, please do visit my channel and please do see that video, because there are certain terms from that video which I would be now using directly. Let's say experiment or the outcomes or sample space, terms like this. So I have explained them in my previous video. So please do watch that video and then start with this video. It would be really helpful for you. Also, once you have watched these two introduction videos, your entire chapter would be going very smoothly without any kind of interruptions for, knowing the meaning for the terms that would be used in the exercise. That is why I have kept these introduction videos all together and at the start of the chapter only. So let's start. Just to recall the definition of probability, it is the measure or estimation of how likely it is that an event is going to occur. Just like the rainfall situation that we have seen, jahan pe 70% chances the that it is not going to rain, 30% chances of it is going to rain. But now here, we would be calculating it with the help of a formula, so that jo bhi measurement hai, jo bhi estimation hai, that is right and that is appropriate mathematically. Again, it might go wrong. It's not that you have calculated to pakka yahi hoga. That's not the case. But yes, you're going to get an estimate. You're going to get a number in your hand ki this might happen itne %, right? Now, in number form, probability can be expressed in terms of fraction also or in terms of percentage also. Either you can express it in terms of fraction, jaise 1/2, 3/4 chances aisa, ya fir percentage, which we have seen yesterday, 70%, 30% chances. Now, there's this term called event. Now, what is this event? So, as the name suggests, it is this sub-collection of sample space. Now, what do you mean by sub-collection of sample space? So, let's say कि there's a scenario where a random experiment, I would say more precisely, of rolling a die. ठीक है? So, rolling a dice is the random experiment. Now, when I roll a die, the all possible outcomes that a die can give, okay, the results are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now when you separate them with commas, when you put them inside the curly braces and you write S besides it, what is this called? It is called as a sample space. So the sample space for this random experiment is this. Now I am going to give you a situation pertaining to this particular random experiment. I will say that what are the possible outcomes of getting an even number when a die is been rolled. तो अभी यहाँ पे सिनेरियो तो रोलिंग अ डाई है, लेकिन अभी मैंने एक कंडीशन इम्पोज किया है दैट यू शुड गेट एन इवन नंबर. सो उसके लिए ऐसा ही इक्विवेलेंस सेट क्या आएगा. सो नाउ हियर द सिचुएशन इज, और आई कैन से आई हैव गिवन एन इवेंट. व्हाट इज दैट इवेंट? दैट इवेंट इज गेटिंग an even number when a dice has been rolled. ठीक है? So just like sample space is denoted with capital S, कोई भी event होगा. This is just one condition. I might say what are the outcomes for the event of getting an odd number. So जब भी आपको ऐसा कोई condition होगा, event specific condition, you are going to always denote it with capital letter. It's not E. I have just written it for the sake of writing. You can give any capital letter, A, B, C. So let's say I'll give this particular event का नाम as A. ठीक है? Now again I have to write it in the set form only. Here now you tell me these are the possible outcomes. And out of this, they are saying what are the outcomes that give you an even number. So, of course, it is 2, 4 and 6. So, my event A would have the outcomes as 2, 4 and 6. Now here if you see, your A is part of your sample space. So sub collection of sample space. Clearly if you see, A is a subset or sub collection of your sample space. Your A entirely fits into your sample space. So event is a sub collection of your sample space. That is why A is called as an event. वो sample space जो बड़ा सेट रहता है उसका कोई तो छोटा सा पार्ट, अगेन कोई भी छोटा सा पार्ट नहीं, there's a condition that's been imposed, उसके अकॉर्डिंग you're going to get that event, which in this case the condition was even number का कंडीशन जो इम्पोज किया था और उसके लिए ये इवेंट है. सो सब कलेक्शन ऑफ सैंपल स्पेस इज कॉल्ड एज एन event. So now whenever you would be getting a question in exam, you would be getting a question for calculating probability of a particular event. तो अगर किसी इवेंट की प्रोबेबिलिटी कैलकुलेट करनी है, सबसे पहले आपको सैंपल स्पेस लिखना है उसका, देन वो इवेंट का सेट लिखना है, इवेंट के लिए ऐसा ही एक सेट लिखना है, एंड देन यू आर गोइंग टू कैलकुलेट. हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू सी इट नाउ. सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू सी द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी. As I told you, probability को हम एक रेशियो के टर्म्स में एक्सप्रेस करते हैं, wherein the numerator is number of ways an event can occur upon number of all possible outcomes. I'll tell you what does this mean. Now, in this case here, if you see, we would be understanding this with the help of an example. Let's say tossing a coin. Okay. Now, you tell me what are the number of possible outcomes when a coin is being tossed. So here if you see head and tail, ये दोनों ही possible outcomes है. So can I say that the number of possible outcomes is 2? And now you tell me, in how many ways am I going to get head on the top side when the coin will be landed? ऐसे कितने तरीके हैं जिससे I'm going to get head on the top side? It is just one. In this case, if I tell you how many ways are there to get even number on the top side, there are 3 ways. Q 3 ways because there are 3 alag outcomes. You can get 2, which is an even number. You can get 4, which is an even number. You can get 6, which is an even number. So in this case, the number of ways to get an even number is 3 because अपन के पास 3 options है. लेकिन इधर सिर्फ एक ही head है. There is nothing else. Do you have H1 and H2? 2 different heads? Nahi, just one single same head. So the number of ways to get head on the top side is just 1. So what is this basically? This is the favorable outcome that the question is asking us. So here we can say the probability to get a head is 1 out of 2. So out of the 2 outcomes, अपन के पास एक head है, right? So the probability to get head is nothing but the number of ways an event can occur. Head कैसे, how many, like what are the number of ways the event of getting an head can occur? Just 1 out of those 2. Upon the total number of possible outcomes are 2. So the probability to get an head is 1 by 2 because out of the 2 possible outcomes, 1 is head. So the probability is 1 upon 2. जिसका formula is, first of all, see the notation. Again, why have I written capital A? Because ये तो sample space हो गया. This is our sample space. Now I have put a condition. What is the condition? कि मुझे क्या चाहिए? Head चाहिए. In this case, this is just 1. H लिखा, काम हो गया. So here if you see P of A, this is read as P of A. P in the bracket A is P of A, meaning probability of the event A, where event A is nothing but getting the head on the top side, is number of sample points in an event A. इधर event A के केस में सिर्फ H आएगा, nothing else, right? So number of sample points in an event A upon number of sample points in the sample space. Sample space में कितना है? H and T. So these are the sample points. ठीक है, ये सारे sample points है और elements है, we can see. So how many elements are there in the event? Just 1. And how many elements are there in the sample space? 2. So probability of an event A is nothing but the number of elements in that event set upon the number of elements in the sample space. बहुत easy है. What you have to do, write the sample space. उसके according जो event बोला है उसको लिखो इवेंट में जितने भी एलिमेंट्स है वो न्यूमरेटर में, सैंपल स्पेस में जितने भी एलिमेंट्स है वो डिनोमिनेटर में. दैट इज कॉमन सेंस ऑल्सो. So probability of getting an event A is number of sample points in an event A upon number of sample points in the sample space, which again in this case is 1/2. So what is the probability of getting a head when a coin has been tossed? It is 1/2, right? 50% प्रोबेबिलिटी है कि अपन को हेड मिलेगा, 50% प्रोबेबिलिटी है कि टेल मिलेगा. मतलब हाफ चांसेस टू गेट प्रोबेबिलिटी, हाफ चांसेस टू गेट हेड ऑन दी टॉप साइड एंड हाफ चांसेस टू गेट टेल ऑन द टॉप साइड व्हेन अ कॉइन इज बीन tossed. Now let us understand this with the help of an example. You will clearly understand exactly what is going on. But the formula is number of sample points in an event A upon number of sample points in the sample space. Numerator में event का रहेगा, denominator में sample space का रहेगा. Now let's start. Here the question says a card is drawn from well shuffled deck of 52 cards. ठीक है. So we have been given 52 cards. उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. And out of those 52 cards, a card has been drawn. You are supposed to calculate the probability such that the card drawn is a red card. So you have to calculate the probability for drawing a red card. So drawing a red card is your event and you are supposed to calculate probability for this particular event. So इसका solution कैसा होगा? Let's say let S be the sample space. ठीक है, this is your sample space. Now if S is your sample space, I forgot to tell you one thing. Whenever you are supposed to write these are nothing but the number of elements in that particular set. तो अगर इसके लिए मुझे number of elements लिखने हैं, मैं कैसे लिखूंगी? N of A and how many elements are there? 3. N of S is how much? 6. So what is this N of S and N of A? It is nothing but the number of elements in set A and set B. और वही अपना numerator and denominator है. So S is the sample space. Now see 52 cards है. It's not possible to write all the 52 numbers in the form, all the 52 cards in the set form. That's not advisable also. Nobody is expecting it from you. What you're going to do is you're directly going to write N of S is equals to 52 because that is what has been used in the formula as well. Now let A be the event of getting a red card. Of getting or drawing a red card. Now you have to first see कि इस event A में कितने outcomes possible है. So red cards, when you try to remember the suits that are there in deck of cards, तो वहां पे we have spade, we have club, we have diamond and we have heart, out of which spade and club are black and diamond and heart are red in color. We know that 52 जो है cards, उसमें से 13 cards each suit में रहते हैं, 13 spades के रहते हैं, 13 clubs के रहते हैं, 13 diamonds के रहते हैं, 13 hearts के रहते हैं, in which we know that half of them are exactly black, half of them are exactly red. So 26 black है, 26 red है. So to come up, your set A would be consisting of 13 diamond cards plus 13 heart cards, right? And these together would give you 26 red cards, right? So this is your event D. So your N of A in this case is 26. Your sample space is N of S is equals to 2, whereas your N of A is 26. I hope you all have understood why this number 26 has come. Because 13 diamond के cards है, 13 heart के cards है और मुझे red cards बोले हैं. I have not been given any particular suit to calculate. कोई डायमंड स्पेड वैसा नहीं बोला है. They have asked you to calculate the probability of drawing a red card. Red card डायमंड और हार्ट के है. That is why I have added both of them to get the number 26, which is N of A. Now according to the probability का formula, किसकी probability find out करनी है? Event की. So we are going to write P of A. Probability of getting a red card is जितने भी elements इसी set में है, N of A, number of elements in the set A, out of the total sample space. So N of S. Remember it like this कि जो चाहिए किस में से किसमें से चाहिए? एंटायर सैंपल स्पेस में से. सो n of a upon n of s, which in this case is 26 upon 52. Again, it is 1 by 2. 26 ones are 26, 26 twos are 52. So the probability of getting a red card is 1 by 2, which is very obvious क्योंकि आधे cards red है, आधे cards black है. So the probability of getting a red card in this case is 50%. So we started with first writing the sample space. In this case, it is not possible to write the sample space because 52 cards है, सबको पता है क्या है. It's not advisable. They are not expecting from you to write those 52 set of cards. Nobody is going to give you extra marks for that. So just write the number of elements that are there in the sample space, which is 52. But yes, हमेशा ऐसा नहीं होगा. Sometimes they would exclusively ask you to write the sample space. जहाँ पे possible है वहाँ पे लिखना है. In this case, it's not possible. Then we are going to write the event part of it. So event क्या है? Event is getting a red card. So उसके लिए एक पहला letter I have taken, which is letter A. Then I have written that exactly how many cards would be there in this event A. That is 26. So n of A is 26. I have used the formula P of A. Probability of A is number of elements in A upon number of elements in the sample space. 26 by 52, 1 by 2 is the probability. So this is how I have calculated the probability. In today's video, we started with knowing what is an event. फिर अपन ने प्रोबेबिलिटी का फॉर्मूला देखा और फिर किसी भी इवेंट की प्रोबेबिलिटी कैसे कैलकुलेट करनी है, दैट वी हैव सीन. सो ऑलवेज द क्वेश्चन वुड बी कमिंग रिलेटेड टू कैलकुलेटिंग द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ एन इवेंट. सैंपल स्पेस लिखना है, इवेंट में कितने एलिमेंट्स आएंगे, जो भी आएंगे वो लिखना है. जस्ट टेक द रेशियो ऑफ बोथ दीज क्वांटिटीज एंड योर वर्क इज डन. सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. I hope you have understood what has been taught in today's video. And again, I will tell you that if you haven't watched the previous video, please do visit my channel and see it for more understanding. From the next video onwards, we would be starting with the exercise part of it. Thank you so much and see you soon in the next video. Thank you.